Hi everyone. I love stories. Do you like to tell stories? Do you like to listen to stories? I remember when my granddaughter Talia didn't feel so well, and she called me and she said, "Bubby, can you read me a story?" And she would lie there. She lives far away from me, all the way in the South of the United States. And I would read her a story, and then when she was a little older, she would read me a story, and I loved that too. Well, these stories that I'm telling you about, whether they happen or not is not what is important. What is important is what they teach us. It's like when you hear a good story with a good moral, it's like lighting a candle in a dark room. You know how sometimes we can be frightened of the dark, but when you open the light or you light a candle or you hold a flashlight and you see there was nothing to be afraid of. Well, that's what these stories are like. They bring light into the world, just like you and I are supposed to bring light into this dark world. So this story is a story of a man named Noah. And as I sing it, I'll tell you a little bit about it as we go, because there's a wonderful moral to the story. Oh, once there was a very special man, and his name was Noah. God spoke to him one day and said, "Go and build an ark. I am going to send a flood. I will destroy the earth. It is going to rain and rain, so you better get going." Noah must have said to himself, "You've got to be kidding. I'm living on a mountain here, and it's never ever rained." Noah turned to his sons that day. "We simply have to obey. If God said to do it, we better get to it." Imagine, it had never rained on the earth, but the water that turned everything green came from underneath the earth and was there like dew in the morning when people woke up. That's what it says in Torah. It took about 120 years to be finished. He looked around, but nobody was rushing to get in it. "I must be nuts," he thought. "I must be nuts," he thought. "Nobody's getting on. I'm a guns and Michigan." That's a really crazy person. Then one day he turned and saw the animals were coming, 2 by 2 and 7 of each, from aardvarks to zebras. Then one day the ark was full. Then one day the ark was full. Then one day the ark was full. God, he shut him in. I wonder how the animals knew to come to the ark. Did they hear a call from the Creator? Because certainly Noah didn't have time to go and bring all these huge variety of animals to the ark. Something to think about. It rained for 40 days and night with thunder and lightning. They prayed and prayed because, you see, it really was quite frightening. Will this rain, it ever stop? Will this rain, it ever stop? Will we ever see land again? Oi, God, we're going to Platz. They were going to faint. Well, the rain did stop, and that family did populate the world. So everybody listening today comes from that first group. I have to tell you I'm your family. I hate to tell you you're my mishpacha. I have to tell you you're my relative. So what time should I come for dinner? The moral of the story of Noah, a tzaddik of his day, a righteous man. He listened to our God that day, and because he did obey, he saved the world for me and you. He saved the world for me and you. If God should speak to us today, would we obey? He saved the world for me and you. He saved the world for me and you. If God should speak to you today, would you obey. Now, do you realize that if this story is true, you and I all come from the family of Noah and his wife? He had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, Japheth, and their wives. So that were only 8 people that got onto the boat that day. Most people didn't believe. And you see a lot of that today. Most people don't want to believe that there's a creator. They don't want to believe that these stories are real because they think that it's foolishness. Well, for those of us who do, it's up to us to be a little candle, a little light in the darkness. So have a wonderful day. And remember, I'm your relative. Everybody you look at is your relative. So treat them like you were your family. And have a wonderful day. Go spread the light.